Last seen nearly 2 years ago on the Turkey-Syria border, an American journalist held by an al-Qaeda-linked group has finally been freed. Nathan King joins us now from our newsroom with the very latest. Nathan, some interesting circumstances and timing with this release.
That's right, some good news. The White House and the United Nations confirming that 45-year-old Peter Theo Curtis, who was written under the name of Theo Padnos, was released into the hands of a United Nations representative in the Golan Heights between Syria and Israel. Good news for the family of one American journalist of the horrible killing of Jim Foley by Islamic State last week.
My name is Peter Theo Curtis.
Peter Theo Curtis, pictured here in video released by his captors just a few months ago, was recently threatened with execution. But after the apparent intervention of the Qatar government, the United Nations confirmed his release in this statement. The United Nations can confirm that it facilitated the handover of Peter Theo Curtis. He was handed over to UN peacekeepers in the Golan Heights at 6:40 p.m. local time on the 24th of August 2014. After receiving a medical checkup, Mr. Curtis was handed over to representatives of his government. Curtis was held since 2012 with another journalist, Matthew Schreier. Schreier actually escaped from captivity. Curtis apparently could not escape because the window they planned to climb through was too narrow for him. It is not immediately clear what led to the release of Theo Curtis, but National Security Advisor to the US Susan Rice vowed others would not be forgotten. In a statement, she said, "Theo is now safe outside of Syria, and we expect he will be reunited with his family shortly. Just as we celebrate Theo's freedom, we hold in our thoughts and prayers the Americans who remain in captivity in Syria." Theo Curtis's family, too, issued a statement expressing relief but also condolences. "We are so relieved that Theo is healthy and safe and he's finally headed home after his ordeal, but we are also deeply saddened by the terrible, unjustified killing last week of his fellow journalist Jim Foley at the hands of Islamic State in Iraq and Syria, ISIS." Yeah, it's not exactly clear why Peter Theo Curtis was released and Jim Foley was killed, but the answer may lie with the Qatari government. Apparently, according to the Curtis family, they actually went directly to the Qatari government to intervene on their behalf. Also, by the way, the Curtis family are saying at this hour that there was no ransom paid at all for his release. Susan?
Well, we're certainly glad he is released and safe. Thank you, Nathan King, for that.